Hey everyone, so my name is Leon, and today we're gonna be doing another Big Brother 23 video. It's been a while. I want to do a video based off the thoughts of the cookout. Now we are down to half of the cookout be remaining. We're down to our final three, which is Xavier, Big D, aka Derek F, and Azah. I'm recording this after Kylan's eviction last night. So in this video, I want to break down the final three scenarios of how I think each of the final two scenarios and the books will break down to. So and plus some thoughts about the season. I'm gonna also be doing um retrospective when the season's over as well. But I kind of want to share my thoughts of how I think the end game would end up being. So right now the Xavier, Azah, and Big D, aka Derek F, is competing for the final three HOH. So we're gonna see how that plays out in the next few episodes. So that's gonna be interesting. But in this video, I want to go over how I think the jury will vote each of the final two scenarios. So with that being said, let's get started. Um, Before we talk about each of the final two scenarios of the last three house guests, kind of want to talk about Kylan's eviction, even though it's from last night's episode. I think I'm not sure why Kylan got upset at Xavier there. He's a fan of the game. He should realize it's just a game at the end of the day. And I think what he said to Xavier, calling how his kids was uncalled for, I didn't feel. It was surprising to me, and I didn't feel good about it. I think Kylan should have not went that low. Xavier was just trying to do a game move to win the season. You know what I mean? Xavier is trying to do what's best for himself to try to win the grand prize. So yeah, you want Kylan, and from Kylan's point of view, he wants Xavier to bring it to the end, and you know, I think Xavier will still be Kylan in that scenario, but Xavier sees Kylan as his biggest threat. If I'm Xavier, why not do it? I'm trying to win the game. So I did not like what Colin said to Xavier after he was evicted. I think that was really uncalled for. But that's my thoughts. Anyways, moving on. So the first final two scenario I'm gonna talk about is Xavier versus Derek F, aka Big D. So let's talk about it. So when it comes to the jury, which in this scenario Azza will be the last jury member. So I think when it comes to the votes, you would think that Big D, aka Derek F, will get no votes, but we'll see. Let's go through the players. Brittany, who's on the Joker's lines with Derek F, aka Big D. I think she would be somebody that will vote for Big D because of their alliance. But Derek X will vote for Xavier. Sarah Beth will vote for Xavier. Claire will vote for Xavier. Alyssa, being close to Xavier initially as her teammate in the Kings Alliance, vote for Xavier. Tiffany will vote for Xavier. Hannah will vote for Xavier. Kylan is actually another one that I think could vote for Big D because of, he could be a better jury member. But I think if he thinks about the game, because Big D evicted him, so hmm, let's say he gives Big D his vote because when he left, when he got evicted, he understand why Big D did it, but he didn't. He didn't like that Xavier didn't use the veto to save him. So there's that. But yeah, I think in this scenario, you would think Big D would be shut out by Xavier. I think Xavier still wins, but it would be a 7-2 scenario instead of a 9-0 scenario. Anyways, let's move on to the Big D, aka Derek F versus Azah scenario. I think Azah, in this case, Xavier would be the last jury member. So this would be a tough one actually. You would think Azah would Big D, but if Big D, aka Derek F, can explain his game, even though I don't know. If he can evict Xavier, maybe he can get some credit, but I don't know. I just everybody from observing how he plays, he hasn't played a good game this season, even though he's been safe. He hasn't done anything, made any moves, and neither is Azah. Azah won that one HOA, so I think Azah will win. But let's go through the votes. And then Brittany's gonna vote for Azah in this scenario. She's also close with Big D. I think she has a close relationship with Azah. I think Derek X will vote for Azah, being that they're closer. Sarah Beth, I think she votes for Azah, even though she doesn't like either one of the games. Claire will definitely vote for Azah. Alyssa would vote for. She's a potential big D vote, but I think she'll vote for Azah. Tiffany would definitely vote for Azah. Hannah would definitely vote for Azah. Kylan would vote for Azah in this scenario, and Xavier will vote for Big D. So, or maybe he'll vote for Azah. I think he'll think of. Nah, he'll vote for Big D out of power loyalty. So, yeah, Big D will probably lose here, but it'll be more of a just like Big D with Xavier. Big D will lose Azah 8-1, I think, in this jury scenario. So yeah, let's move on to the next last scenario. In this case, Big D, aka Derek F, will be in the jury. So this will be Azah versus Xavier, and I think Xavier wins, but let's just go through it. Brittany will vote for Azah out of loyalty. Derek X will vote for Xavier, being a better game player. Sabbath will vote for Xavier. Claire will vote for Xavier. Alyssa would definitely vote for Xavier. Tiffany, she likes both of them, will vote for Xavier. Hannah will probably vote for Xavier. Kylan, being a bitter jury member, guess Xavier will vote for Azah. And I think Big D will vote for Xavier. So I think Azah gets 2 votes, so it'll be like a 7-2 Xavier win. So that's how I see the scenarios playing out. But you never know. You never know what can happen. We gotta see who gets to the final 3. But yeah, that's it for the video. I just want to do a short thoughts about the cookout. I think this is actually one of my favorite seasons. I like the gameplay. I like the cookout strategy. Um, I like the end game so far. The end game has been pretty interesting to me. And Xavier's been doing a pretty good job setting himself up to get to the final 2. Let's just hope he can win part 3 and part 1, or part 2 and part 3, however he gets there. So yeah, that's it for the video. Thank you guys for watching. More recaps and videos come soon, and adios.